Let me bang.
I do let you bang. Hey,
let me bang you, James, man.
I let you bang. I let you bang.
Greetings, marriage and virgins.
Go for Jesus. No forget Jesus, people.
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time once again for your favorite mixed martial arts podcast. Recording out of Los Angeles, California, it's MMA Roasted with Adam Hunter.
Who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that?
What's up, people? Welcome to a brand new MMA Roasted Podcast. Hope you guys are doing well. I think I have problems, guys. I really do. Like, what's like somebody passes away who's a comic, like my first inclination is to make jokes. Especially if they're like a friend or like a friendly, like, which by the way, if I die and you make jokes about me, go right ahead. Okay. So if I pass away, I will not get upset if anyone makes
We
jokes.
should try to come up with some now. Actually,
Yeah,
can you write the jokes for
Here
us?
he lies, finally in peace. His neuroticism finally at rest. Something like this. Was that a little bit too Martin Luther King-y for you?
Maybe that's not really a joke.
Wait, do I have to wear like the little yarmulke on my head for this thing? Because, bro,
Yeah.
I've been waiting to dust off my yarmulke.
Why do you have a yarmulke?
Oh, I thought it was a cup.
How hard was this yarmulke?
Man, it was tough. Yeah, yesterday at training, somebody got kicked in the balls with no cup, laid on the damn ground for like 3 whole minutes. I put some ice on his balls. He popped back up like Jesus Cristo.
Why did you kick him?
I didn't, bro. It wasn't me. Allegedly, the investigation is still ongoing. However, I didn't do it. Anyway, why are you talking about death right now, bro?
So Angel Salazar, who was he was in Scarface, Chi-Chi and Scarface, and he was in Carlito's Way. Here's a guy, when I first started doing comedy 25 years ago, they're like, "Oh, I got you opening for Angel Salazar in Staten Island, but you got to drive him home." All right, okay. I show up, dude. The guy's got a black eye, and people are throwing bags of cocaine at him. Like his entire crowd is Colombians and like Cubans, and he's murdering. But he had a black eye from passing out, and people are literally throwing bags of cocaine. And then I had to give him a ride back. I think we stopped at like 10 different drug dealers, like in like Harlem.
Oh my God.
And he kept getting out of the car, leaving, and coming back 30 minutes later. I was like 19 years old, going like, what is going on? Like, what the fuck is going on right now, right? Then I don't hear about him. Then I do a gig in Rochester, and they were like, "Oh, we had Angel Salazar last week." I was like, "How did it go?" He goes, "Oh, it didn't go good." He goes, "The first show, he got a standing ovation." They were like, "Don't let him leave the green room. Whatever you do, keep him in the green room before the second show." So of course he leaves, does a ton of cocaine, comes back, and his nose is bleeding. He doesn't even know where he is, right? They're like, "Angel, you're on." He goes on stage, sold out show in Rochester, New York. Some big chick, a big titty girl in the front row was like, "Angel, you're bleeding." So he goes to wipe his nose on the girl's tit, right? While it's all
Oh God.
So her boyfriend gets up and punches him, right? And then the whole crowd runs out screaming and fucking just, pissed off. And then I saw Angel a couple months ago, and I asked him about that. He's like, "Yeah, I got 2 standing ovations that night." Right? So I'm in like I'm in the big room at this comedy club. He's in like the smaller room. He didn't draw that many people. Not even his fault. Like they just didn't promote it right. Like they didn't promote Angel Salazar from Scarface to the Cuban community, because it would have fucking been packed. But instead, it was like, anyway, he had no place to stay that night, and he didn't even have a home. He was like in between houses or something. So I let him crash in my hotel room. Dude, we stop off on the home at 7-Eleven. He gets like a 40 ounce and like a bottle of wine. I didn't realize he had sleep apnea. So he's snoring.
Oh God.
The whole fucking night, like drinking and snoring. I took like 3 Emmys. I still couldn't sleep. Like that's how loud the snoring was. And then I left him, and that was the last time I saw him. He was like, he wasn't in the best of shape. He was like limping. He was fucked up, man. Like he
How old was he?
couple months ago.
Now he's dropped dead recently.
He died last week.
What? What? Cocaine heart attack?
So he died in his sleep. That's
yeah.
You know, so
he finally took a nap and then he never woke up from it.
Dude,
cocaine, the 80s.
Dude,
that's like one of those things, like, you know, like a Bert Kreischer kind of thing, where if you're famous for being all fucked up, then it's like weird thing that you got to keep doing, right? So it's like part of the show for the Angel to do a bunch of cocaine and act all crazy. So then now he's like trapped in what do you call that? Purgatory, where you're just constantly stuck in this cycle of getting high and trying to be funny, and then man, what a nightmare! What a nightmare!
It was the saddest shit. They canceled both of his shows due to lack of thing. He didn't have anybody. He didn't have a hotel. I asked the guy. He stayed with the audience member the first night, and they were like, "Hey, I'm like, if he needs a place to stay, have him text me because I'm not gonna leave him out there." And of course, he texted me.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Hey, just so you know, he might start wandering around the hotel in the middle of the night and just wandering off, and you'll find him." And I'm like, "Fuck you."
Was he on drugs or was he in dementia?
Probably a combination, but he was still funny as shit. Like my buddy Ahmed called me and I FaceTime him, and Ahmed was so excited because Angel to the comics is still a legend. Like he you know, he had that headshot where he had like the big boom box and he had like the fucking Jerry curl, and it was Angel. He was in Punchline, Carlito's Way, you know, Scarface, Chi-Chi Scarface. He's still, and he's funny as shit. So Ahmed's talking to him about this project, and you know, I love Ahmed. He's one of my best friends in the world, but he could talk. He could talk, right?
He's great.
So then, like in the morning, I wake up and Angel's in the other bed. And he goes, "Is Muhammad still talking?" He called him Muhammad. But yeah, rest in peace, Angel, man. It just also kind of sucks though, Jason, because now like everybody like, "Oh, Angel Salazar, you were a legend and you were this and that," and like,
yeah, nobody gave him a damn hotel room or drove his ass to rehab or gave a shit when he wasn't selling tickets. Yeah, it's a rough life, you know. It just is a wake-up call and a check to people who have substance abuse problems because, dude, drugs are awesome. They're so awesome that you will ruin your entire life for drugs. Yeah. Like as long as you're high, you'll feel like everything's fine. And that's a strange thing that happens with something about your dopamine receptors and whatever. You just forget about the rest of life that is very enjoyable. You can get up into that, and it's scary. It's really scary. And I don't know, for some people, they can like, you know, I went through it where I just had to get away from all that kind of craziness for just a few months and not be tortured, not be like where in a jailhouse setting where you're like constantly tortured and there's like drug monsters in there. So it's like a weird combination where you're constantly feeling triggered the whole time. So as soon as you get out, you want to go and get high or get drunk or whatever your choice is, you know, instead to have like a safe place to like calmly work on yourself. For me, like completely took it to the next level where I went, oh, I can have happiness without getting high. Like, I don't know. Some people never break out of that. And it sounds like to me that this guy was kind of privileged to where everybody would throw a bag of cocaine at him all the time. So if you always have the supply, it's kind of hard to like quit, you know. You gotta get angry about it. You gotta get angry at it. And it sounds like he never got angry enough at the substance to give it up.
There was a kid that was the biggest fan of this podcast named Van. He came to every single show we had during COVID, every Zoom show. Every week he would come to the Dime. He'd be like one of 4 people in the crowd. He would record everyone's sets and send it to him. He was the nicest guy. He had a good job. Came to my show in Oakland. All of a sudden, they're like, I get a text, Van died. I go,
oh, Jesus.
How did he die? Him and his brother were doing cocaine one night. And you would never mistake it. Like, you never like, oh, this guy's a drug addict. I mean, he just had his shit together. Cocaine had fentanyl. Both dropped dead.
Oh, God.
Like a couple months ago. And you know, first of all, his parents. I mean, imagine both your sons. Like, just
God, fuck shit.
yeah. So,
Was that like the first time they ever did coke? And they're like, "Hey, let me give it a try," and then it was laced with fentanyl.
I know he did mushrooms one time at a show. He came out with his girl on mushrooms, but he was not one of these guys that like, oh, that, you know, you could, oh, that guy's a meth head, or that guy's a coke head. You would be like, oh, this dude's an accountant, or this guy's got a boy. He was just a nice guy, sweet guy, great to make fun of. Like, just like I'd always tell him, I go, Van, man, you always catch me when I'm coming in and out of the show. I want to let you know, I don't tell you how much I appreciate you enough. Like, he's one of those guys that you take for granted that they're so nice. You know, it was kind of like that. Mayhem is like that guy that used to work at the Laugh Factory as the door guy that was like Hawaiian. That was your buddy, John.
Yeah, John. I just had lunch with him yesterday. Yeah, he's great.
You know, sometimes like such a nice, but sometimes almost seems like an even keel guy that you forget, like to tell him that, like, hey man, just want to let you know you're a special person.
You know what's funny about that is I hugged him yesterday. I was like, you know what, bro? Like, you know, we don't hang out enough, that kind of thing. Or I was like, man, I really appreciate you. Because it's a good guy like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway.
Man, see, bro, they just need to like go back to like legalizing drugs and regulate them. Like back in the day, we could buy like a Coca-Cola with cocaine in it. I mean, yeah, on the surface, that sounds terrible. But if you have regulated drugs that are like at the store where you know exactly what you're getting, then China can't buddy with freaking fentanyl. Like,
but where do you stop? I mean, do you crack, heroin? I mean, where do you stop?
No, everything. Because if you have to like buy, like, you have to buy it from a store, or if it's like supplied, if you're a drug addict, and it will be cheaper to just buy the drugs and let the people who really want the drugs have them than this entire machinery of like prison and jail and people stealing all the stuff from the stores. Like, that would end. If
on one hand I agree with you. On the other hand, you talk to parents today that have teenagers, and marijuana and weed in California has made kids so unmotivated, and
legalizing drugs is not the solution people want it to be.
Fucked up their minds. I know so many parents of teenage kids that, like, dude, they're doing weed and edibles at like 10, 12, 13. And they can't, their kids are gone almost. They're gone.
That seems to me like a more of a cultural thing where, like, you have to, like, now that we have it legal, you have to educate them kids, like, to really get it in their head that, okay, if you do this, this is the path you go on. You know, I feel like a lot of people have done a disservice of making these powerful substances like just like, oh yeah, just an afterthought. Like, weed is like a serious business, will change your brain like 100%. We all treat it like, oh, it's just some pot. Oh,
yeah, but imagine cocaine and heroin. You got kids that are 15 years old doing that. So,
but what I mean is that, okay, like the people who want to do drugs and get into that culture, if you legalize all of it, not one new person is going to go, oh, well, then cocaine's good for you. I don't think so.
I disagree.
Well, you think that everybody will be like,
I think if you make shit legal, people will do everything. Bro, you made shoplifting legal, people just shoplift constantly.
Oh, but what I mean is cocaine is already legal. It's called Adderall, and everybody takes it, and everybody takes it.
It's a little different than Adderall. It's different.
As somebody who's done both a lot, bud, they're fucking the same. I don't know. I just think that I've seen no difference between cocaine users and Adderall users. It's the same thing. It's just Adderall has an exact dosage. It's legal. You know exactly what you're getting. Cocaine, who knows, might have fentanyl in it because it's by a drug dealer who does it instead of a pharmacist. It's the same but different.
All right. So look, yeah, all I'm saying is I know a couple parents that were like, yeah, my kids started taking edibles at 14, 15, brain isn't evolved, and now they're either homeschooling the kids are out of control. It's not the same kid they had that they remember back when they were 11, 12. So I worry that if you do that with the other drugs, it's gonna have that effect.
What? You think that if cocaine was at Walgreens, then like the kids would start doing cocaine?
Yes.
I don't.
Yes. I do.
I think that if it was like a prescribed kind of thing, where okay, this is like if you want this, you have to go through
medical cocaine.
But they already had it in the 30s. It was like a normal thing.
Oh, I know, yeah.
And now all they did was make these drug cartels super powerful and that give them tons of money. I don't know. Maybe it's not the best solution, but to me, it seems like a better solution than what we're doing. Because all you do right now, make it so that the cartels get tons of money for pumping this drugs in here. Then you have unregulated substance on the street. Dudes, nice guys who just want to get high like your friend Van, drops dead because the cartel, or like the local drug dealer had on his table fentanyl, and then he put his cocaine on that same table and scooped it up. Oops, now he killed some people. I don't know. There's no good solution when it comes to drugs, but the reality of the situation is where there's a demand, there's going to be a supply. That's just how capitalism works. So somebody is going to sneak this drugs into the country, and you're just killing guys who don't want to die and don't deserve to die.
I understand there's a problem. I just think that you're I think you're coming at it from like a super well. Well, I think you're coming from a well-read, well-experienced human being, whereas I don't want like a 12-year-old doing a ton of cocaine, getting a gun, and going to college, and going into a school and start shooting. Like I think you have to sometimes.
Oh, wait, what are you talking about? People who are high don't go and shoot people. People who are super into politics go and shoot people. Like you need to ban some of your business associates from people. That's who shoots people. It's a weird thing where if you get super politicized.
Look at Scarface. He snorted an amount of cocaine, starts blowing people up.
I know that
works.
All right, let's talk about parenting. All right, so my daughter, by the way, my kid. I used to say, my kid's outsmarting me now. She's always outsmarting me. I used to be like, all right, Violet, brush your teeth. I don't want to, Daddy. Okay, I'm going to count to 5. 1, 2, and at 3, she'd be like, and do it. And now she realizes that I'm going to get to 5 and nothing's going to happen. Like she realized I had no backup plan. It was just 5, right? So now I'm like going to 10. I'm on the letter K. It's just, and then I'm Violet. I'm like, if you don't brush your teeth, I'm going to kick you to the moon, or something. That sounds fun. I want to go to the moon. Like all her, dude, it's, and then
what strategy?
I have I'm making it up as I go along. Right. Dude. Then and then, the thing is also as a comic, cause I'm like, how was school today? Nah. So go to school. Nah. I'll go, Violet, how would you like it if you asked me a question and I went, yeah. And then she starts dying laughing, right? So then I get a laugh. And I'm like, oh, I'm killing here. Yeah, bad strategies. How do you deal with it, Bill?
Oh, God. I mean, I spanked my daughter for the first time like a week ago.
Oh, wow.
And it was really traumatic for me. I had never spanked her before. But she was being a bitch. So I just, and she was knocking shit over and so I spanked her. She looked at me like, is that all you got? Like, really? That's what you're going to do? But it's still it hurt me. I don't think I could ever physically discipline my child.
So she's like 3, right?
I always think bribery is better than blackmail.
So she's 3.
If you do this, you get this.
Right. Yeah.
But that's terrible because now she's spoiled as shit.
Jason, your parents spanked you, right?
Dude, my dad kicked me into the fireplace before. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, every once in a while, honestly, I didn't really get spanked, but when I did something real bad, I got whooped. I didn't get spanked. I got whooped. It was a different level than spanking. Spanking was by the time I was 6, spanking was hilarious. I didn't hurt me at all. But if I really messed up, only a few times in my upbringing did I get whooped. because man, yeah, that was wrong. So I don't know. I don't recommend it. I don't know. I think the literature. Look, my experience in parenting is dog training. Okay,
very similar.
Yeah, it's very similar. And I think the biggest thing is to like ignore the kid actively, ignore the puppy actively, because they want to please you. So if you take away the attention, which they love, if you take that away, it's like a very painful thing for them. So I think that could be a strategy. I don't know about this toothbrushing thing. I don't know. You got to figure out some.
Well,
method.
What I do is I try to make it fun. So we play Toothbrush Idol, right? Which is where I line up like 6 toothbrushes, and they all have a competition, and the winning toothbrush gets to brush her teeth, right? So, but the problem is like it's like, so she'll be like, "Daddy, can we play Toothbrush Idol? Toothbrush Idol?" I'm like, "Yes, we can play Toothbrush Idol," right? But then I have like the 2 Barbie toothbrushes, and I'm like, "I'm Barbie. No, I'm Barbie. No, I'm the one," right? And then the other one start tap dancing, and then one of them starts singing, going, "Let it go," or whatever, Frozen. And then I put one into the mirror, and one of them like does the dive off the other one into this. But then I don't want to like be a hack and do the same thing over again. So now every day I have to come up with a fucking new sketch.
Yeah.
I was
gonna say, like you're like writing a full season's worth of SNL sketches for Toothbrush Time. Oh, what a nightmare! Dude. What an interesting you live there,
dude. So now I have
Toothbrush Got Talent, not American Idol, dude. Then they could do like contortionism, aerials.
I do. No, it is. No, but now I'm bringing in like other of her toys to be like, "Oh, surprise!" And then Elmo shows up, or this one shows up, or like, "Oh, it's the fairies," or I'm like, dramatic entrance, and I'll take like the toilet bowl roll, and I'll go like this, and they'll just come flying in. It's one.
Olaf gives the golden buzzer.
Yeah, we have the judges. The judges are like the soap, and then the flosser, and then when they get picked, be like A, B, C. Yeah, it's a whole 9-minute.
Developing your daughter to have schizophrenia. Talking to the soap dispenser and the shampoo bottles. Oh my goodness, bro. Well, good for her.
Dude, then it's like, but then she's like, "Daddy, will you carry me?" And now she's like, at first no problem, but now she's 6. She's 50 pounds. So I'm like, I can only carry her for like, we go to like Disney. I got to carry the whole fucking. It's like carrying a 50-pound weight the entire day. But I don't want her to think I'm a fucking pussy. So I'm always carrying her. But
hey, time out. She is way too old to have you carry. Oh, what are you talking about? She needs to huff it. You want to go to Disneyland? You want to play with the big boys? You want to play with Goofy, Donald, and freaking Mickey? Well, then you better hop two.
Yeah, no, seriously, it's literally Daddy. Yeah. So then, and then I was flying. I flew to Vancouver yesterday, and I'm in Vancouver now. And I go to there's a lady it's Flair Airlines, which is like Spirit Airlines of Canada, right? It's the same thing where it's like $9 when you buy that. You get there, it's like $200 for each luggage you check. It's just one of those things, right? So there's I paid an extra $25 to sit in the window seat. And then of course I get to my thing and there's a lady in my seat. And I'm like, "Hey, I think I have that seat." And she's like, "Oh," so she doesn't move. She wants me to go in like the middle. Now I could go in the middle for 4 hours, but I paid for this seat. So I was like, "Hey, I think this is." I didn't know. She knew exactly what she was doing, right? What would you have done, Bill?
I have this weird thing recently where my phone either overheats, so I missed the beginning of it. But you were on a flight, and a woman had your aisle seat, and and they were supposed to be the middle seat or something.
And she pretended that she didn't know.
Well, I mean, there's nothing. I mean, I've had the situation I've had, and I did a bit about it, and I was like, "Oh, I did it on stage, and it killed." And then I realized Jim Jeffries has the same bit where when you're in the middle seat, you're entitled to both armrests.
Yeah.
That's the fucking rule. Yeah. And this person kept like nudging my arm away. And at the minute I would like go to pick up something, they'd put their arm there like firmly. And I was just like, "You're a fucking bitch."
Yeah.
I like said to the dude, like, "You're a fucking bitch." But it's because when you're in the middle seat, get the armrest. But that woman, she took your seat. You just, what can you do? You can't.
I just lay my arms.
They have no rights.
stares and then make eye contact for way too long. Like,
Wait, what do you do?
lay my arm on their arm and just gently push it, but just lay it gently, and it works even better if it's the dude. And then you smile, like, with this smile. Face,
Yeah.
you know, and then
Well,
go. So either way you win, because either he moves his arm or you join the Mile High Club. You know what I'm saying?
Well, luckily, I told the lady, I'm like, hey, there's an empty row in front of you. You could get that. And she was all happy. And then some other lady on the other side kept offering me Xanax. She's like, oh, you want a Xanax? And I was like, and then she kept offering me more and more pills. I'm like, no, I'm okay. Like,
hilarious. Well, what the hell? What was her end game? She just wanted to give you a sleepy hand job or something, bro. You almost won the internet right there. Your wife would have been pissed.
You got to quit flying Frontier Air, Adam.
Dude, then Monday I do the show at D-Ray's thing, right? Do you know D-Ray's show? It's like how do you say it? Like they say chocolate sundaes. It was like mostly black people, and D-Ray's is other. So I go do it, and the host, nice, then funny guy, but he keeps laughing at all his own jokes. How do you feel about comics that laugh at their own jokes? Like,
weird.
Man, I don't know. I used to hate it, but now some of my favorite comics, Godfrey does it. He's one of my favorite comics.
He laughs at all his own jokes?
Not all.
If it's sincere, if they really are like authentically laughing, but the people who do it like in a fake way, I fucking hate.
But Godfrey, I think Godfrey is such a good performer that he is faking his laugh, but it sounds authentic. Like he does, because he does the bit really good. He does bits good and then laughs really hard. But like, I don't know if that I made him real laugh. I don't know if that's his real laugh. It doesn't matter. The audience buys it and it's good. Yeah.
Did I ever tell you me and Godfrey got to a brawl with the audience members?
No way.
What?
Did I ever tell you a story? I was
kind of Black Adam Hunter, so it's like a weird double dragon situation, like player one and player two.
So this is back when I used to book the Westwood Brewing Company, right? Which was like, so Godfrey was like, it was all college kids, UCLA kids, and Godfrey was like, man, these guys don't fucking respect comedy. But he would drive there and do it. Like he would, but man, these guys. So his mom just passed away. Rest in peace, his mom. So he gets up there and he's doing well. He's such a charismatic guy. And then he's making fun of these like 5 kids, like frat boys. And he's like, who the fuck would fuck you guys? And then the one kid goes, your mom. And I guess Godfrey he just took like a jujitsu class for the first time or something, right? So he puts the microphone in the thing, goes into the crowd and starts strangling this kid, but like pulls guard, kind of. Like, so now there's like, luckily he got the 5 weakest kids I've ever seen in my entire life because they didn't know what to do, right? But they were all just jumped on him. So I get up and I just start throwing kids off of Godfrey. Like my first instinct is to start cracking kids in the face. And I'm like, I'm running the show. I've been 6 months trying to get this show going. But Godfrey just attacked the guy in the crowd. But so I'm launching kids off. I'm just hurling kids. And Godfrey's got this kid like an anaconda, like fucking squeezing for his life. All tables get thrown. Everything gets crazy.
Oh, shit.
Then like the cops come, the kids get out of there. We told the cops that they attacked Godfrey because he was black, which had nothing to do. And then we kept the show going. We actually kept it was like that was anyway. But anyway, so I do the thing, and first I'm sitting in the stool, and the guy's like, yo, somebody's like, that's the host spot. Right, not even like D-Ray, like they had like a pre-host, the guy that was laughing at his jokes. So I get up and I move over, and then Tisha Campbell comes from Martin with her friend, and someone's like, "You can't sit there. That's Tisha's spot. Tisha wants to know." Oh, so now I'm like sitting on the floor, and I'm about to go on stage, and I'm like, "Hey man," the guy's like, "What are your credits?" First 2 comics don't show up, and he introduces them anyway. Right? He's like, "Oh, we'll just go to the next guy. We'll go to the next guy." This is a packed fucking crowd. Then he's making fun of the comics for bombing. He's like, man, you guys are burning people's confidence. You're looking at them like, just me. So then he goes, what do you want me to say? So I'm like, all right, say the Upshaws and Gutfeld. He goes, I ain't remembering all that shit. Like, I gave him
2 things. It's too much. 2 things is too much.
So he goes up there and does like 10 more minutes. He's getting lit left and right. Then there's like there's a white couple that's not laughing at anything. I'm not sure they speak English. And then he goes to them, man, you ain't laughing at shit, you two. But guess what? Looks at me. You're going to like the next guy. Give it up for this comedian, Adam Hunter. Doesn't even no credits at all. I don't know why he even asked me. Dude, I went up there. I was fucking mad. Like, it was like, how I'm not to compare myself to Michael Jordan in any fucking way. I couldn't be Michael Jordan's sneaker, but how when Jordan was like,
you're mad and you weren't good. Yeah. Did you get out?
No, I was mad. No, it was good. Cause I was like, when Jordan was like, take that one fucking thing that. What's up, people? Listen, Major League Baseball is right now. And I've had some of my best memories. Me and my dad going to games. I actually caught a couple balls a couple times. I had a blast. I take my daughter to the game, my wife. We have a great time. And check it out. Game Time is an authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, which means getting tickets, you can get them faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to the first pitch. It goes down, not up. Now, with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, okay, which is great. That way you don't get there and all of a sudden you can't see anything. And their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. So you gotta check out this Game Time app. It is so easy, okay, to navigate, download. I go to all my sporting events. I went to a Sparks game, the one that I took Mayhem and them to. All right, we had a great time. It was like $14 each. It was cheaper than movie tickets. All right, so you got to check it out. They got last minute deals. You could save up to 60% buying off last minutes for sports, concerts, comedy, theater. You get flash deals. All right, which means that you could save even more with exclusive in-app deals on select seats ahead of the game or the event. They have all-in pricing and they have ticket coverage. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. And they have lowest price guarantee, which means if it's not the lowest price, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. So take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with Game Time. So download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code CLNS for $20 off first purchase. That's right. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the code CLNS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guarantee. Trust me, you will thank me later. Pissed him off. There was a lot of things here. Dude, D-Ray didn't even like me. They were like, man, he was letting you go. And then after my set, he's like, man, fuck, Adam, you're one of my top 5 favorite comics. And he was just about to be like, I don't know why you're not successful or something. I knew that was coming. So I was like, oh, thanks, man. I interrupted him before he got to the insult after the compliment. So.
Yeah. Why haven't you? Yeah.
Yeah. I knew that was coming. So anyway,
I'll explain why you're successful, bud. I think people are threatened by you. So like you're in this weird thing where you are the funniest guy at some of those shows. So nobody wants to admit it and scooch over for you. It's a weird spot that you've dug yourself into. But whatever, dude. You just keep punching. You're gonna come up with something.
Hey, listen, I make a good living doing what I love doing. I got a beautiful family and great friends. I'm successful.
Yeah. So I think you're successful as fuck. But they're saying, oh, why don't you have a fucking private jet? That's a great standard to be living at, where people are confused why you don't have a fucking $10 billion mansion. That's
people
good.
Also don't realize that how successful some people are, and that there are people out there that if I'm like, hey, Michael Blackson, they're not going to know who Michael Blackson is. Michael Blackson's probably making $100,000 a weekend. D-Ray's probably making 80 to 100. I mean, and then there are people that I'm like, hey, do you know who Jess Hilarious is? I have no idea who the fuck Jess Hilarious is, and she's murdering it. So it's all about I don't think D-Ray's watching Gutfeld, so a lot of times it's but I'm sure people don't know how successful Jamie Lissau is right now, who's fucking killing it, all over, sold out. So it's become so everybody has their own niche, but people don't realize how successful other people are unless they're kind of, they get to see their bubble a little bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to fighting. Have you guys seen Colby Covington and the Pedophile?
No, sounds fun. Sounds like a great TV series.
So I guess there's this there's a rapper, Little Pump. You know who Little Pump is?
Yeah.
He had that song Gucci Gang, and then he's like a huge Trump supporter. He like spoke at like Trump meetings. I think he got a Trump tattoo. So there's a guy named Vitaly, and like they have they have these things now where they go around catching pedophiles. It's almost like to catch a predator, but they're doing it themselves. And somehow Colby Covington is now involved in this.
They need to do it, and I was like,
Well, some people say it's staged. I wish McCorkle was here because I would love to get he's supposed to be here, or Don Fry, but I don't even realize what's going on. Jason, will you explain to me what is happening right here?
There's like a new thing of rage-based content.
Holy
where
fuck
they like
shit.
So So this dude, I guess, is playing the pedophile. I'm not. This dude's the pedophile. Black guy is the guy on a date with this guy, who's in his underwear. And then
it's not like a teenage boy. It's like a 19-year-old dude pretending to be. So basically, what we're seeing is the legal kind of homoerotic pornography. You know, like that's what we're watching right now. I cannot believe. This is the new high for MMA Roasted, where we're going to go. Is Colby Covington acting like he's 15?
Okay, so they come in and the guy just starts screaming, right? So, which doesn't seem like, is that what happens? Like, all right.
It's the fucking camera.
So what are we watching?
Here's Little Pump. A couple. I guess this is Vitaly, and then Colby's coming in.
You got pissed? You pissed yourself. Yo, chat. Yo, I need the light closer. Can you put on?
And Colby's in like a 3
yourself? You peed yourself? You fucking peed yourself. You're still peeing. His pee. Yo, look, guy. Look at behind. Holy fucking shit. Damn, how much you pay for this to pee like this on command? Yo, are you crying?
So common denominator.
What happened, brother?
Is this?
Yo, sit. Yo. What's happening? I mean, bro.
So there's Colby. You can tell Colby's a little uncomfortable. Like, what the fuck am I doing?
Get into this because they asked me to be part of it. I was like, what? Why do I want to hang out with pedophiles? No, what? So what? You want me to beat their ass? I'm going to go to prison again. Like, Like, it's such a weird game that they're playing. Oh, so you want me to chase these guys down for clout? But it's like embarrassing, like for everyone involved. Let the cops take care of those guys. Those guys shouldn't be on TV. Those guys should just be busted and go to jail. Like that, keep them out of society. Not like clout chase and what kind of sponsors am I going to get? Put your product next to, hey, Starbucks sponsored this pedophile show. Like, come on, bro. This is a nightmare. I don't know.
This is a nightmare. This is when I was in Saudi Arabia. Like about 12 years ago, they stopped doing public executions. And what they would do is they would tie somebody to a Jeep. And then they tie somebody one to a Jeep, the other to like a something, and then they would just drive the Jeep, and that's how they would kill people. And I was like, well, is it sponsored by Buick? This is
by Jeep Wrangler.
But yeah, who's making money on this? The money from these views should be going.
The Vitaly, he has some kind of kick stream or whatever, and he does these weird. I don't know. It's a thing. I get it. I'm sure it's very entertaining for some people, and I understand the appeal of it. But to me, it's just like, it's just shameful. Like, one of
These
those
people are sick. They should be in jail. Pedophilia is the absolute worst, right? Okay, we're all in agreement with that.
Yes.
Having Little Pump, Colby Covington, Vitaly, and people going around as Dog the Bounty Hunter, pedophile hunters, it does seem a little the whole thing just seems odd. It does.
Well, do you know what? You guys can look this up, but the Catch the Predator, the rate at which people actually were convicted and went to prison was like 1%.
Yeah.
Almost nobody actually went to prison from that show.
Because it's kind of like coercion. Like, okay, look, lonely gay dude is on the internet. Somebody in his inbox is like, hey, what's up? I'm a 14-year-old boy. Come fuck me. Well, what the hell? Like the guy is just like a redact and like goes over there and it's like catching mentally ill or like developmentally disabled people that are like finally have some attention and they're so happy and they just like what's the legal term for it when the cops like coerce you into something? I don't know.
Entrapment.
Like a weird entrapment thing where they like beg the guy to come over because we're not seeing those chat logs. It's pretty easy to get a dude who never gets any sex to like be convinced that, oh wow, I'm gonna get,
it's all bad. It's all bad. Look, the whole thing is bad. I just don't think Kobe needs to associate with this shit. Like
of course not.
Kobe.
No, I don't involved with this Vitaly guy. Oh my god, guy's
the whole thing is fucking crazy. And did you see the Sean Strickland Tiki thing?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
So
I knew all the good shit.
All right, so I knew Tiki when Tiki Goshen was a fighter at one point, and he was dating Ariani. I think that was like his biggest accomplishment because you remember he was like dating Ariani, and people were like, "How the fuck did he get Ariani?" This is like, anyway. So he became a manager, a very successful manager, and he works with the UFC. And I've heard nothing but good things about him. I don't know anything about him, to be honest. Mayhem probably met him a bunch of times, right? You know Tiki pretty well.
For years, I was on the same team with them. I know this guy. Yeah.
So Sean Strickland makes a video, which is basically saying that Tiki had an underage.
Oh, he had a tweet first. Let's get the story straight.
All right, tell me the whole story because I'm a little. Maybe you can explain it better.
Yeah, I'll explain it. He had a tweet first that said something about Tiki doing something with like grooming like an underage girl, whatever. I was like, oh, what the hell? Apparently, after that tweet went out, some, backroom conversations happened, and somebody told Strickland that he shouldn't say that because Tiki's going to sue him. Now, Strickland took that as, oh, fuck that. Strickland's not the guy to back down from a confrontation. And he doubled down on it, talked to the girl that allegedly this all happened to.
Got her dad.
Hey, if we go to court, we're going to crowdfund this. I'll and everything will have to be exposed. So he called the bluff of Tiki's people trying to say that they're going to sue him, And look, I never seen Tiki mess with no underage girl, so I can't really speak to that part. But it is interesting how the power dynamic works when you have a lot of power in the UFC that no news media reports on any of that. It was very interesting.
Talked to her dad too, right? Didn't he talk to her dad also? And her dad said, "How did you know?" I mean, this is according to Sean.
Oh God!
Now he's going to GoFundMe for his lawyer fee, and he's
Jesus
like tripling down, Sean. A lot of people, and then Aljamain Sterling, I guess, who was managed by Tiki or something. He said everyone's hitting me up by my manager. I don't know what's going on. I had nothing to do with this, which made it worse. Because that gave credibility to it. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But I mean.
The best case scenario is for Tiki is that the guy's just smearing him, and the worst case is, oh man, like something happened and like, oh damn, Vitaly's gonna show up to the gym, right? Like a weird, I don't know. It's a strange life that's got that was a really unexpected twist of events because Tiki's in deep with those guys, real close with Dana. It's like a very
no. No, I'm saying, like, no, that's not what the UFC needs right now. Like I'm agreeing with you. Like, they don't want any of this shit. Like, Dana's probably like, get this, like, make this go away.
Yeah.
But yeah, who knows? So also, did you guys see the Craig Jones thing?
But wait, what happened? Wait, go back to what did Strickland do? I missed the story. So Strickland,
He basically just said exactly what he said. He said there's a manager. He didn't name his name, but everyone knew who it was. He alluded to it. He did this with this girl. I have the girl. I tweeted about it. If he sues me, who wants to be part of my GoFundMe? Of course, all Strickland's fans are like, I'll put money into your GoFundMe. And, and now he looks like he's the, basically the fighter of the victim. He's standing up for the victim, which is what he's doing. Now, at the same time, like, vigilante justice, like, I hope that whoever that happened to went to the police or went to the, because I don't want everyone now going to Sean Strickland. Like,
Sean Strickland totally shit correctly, huh?
Right. I mean, there's that isn't that kind of like how sometimes things go awry as people go right to Instagram or TikTok or Twitter and not to the authorities, and then all of a sudden everyone just
like the new way. It's not like Strickland has like a perfect track record of being correct about things all the time. So it's kind of weird for him to go and just call out somebody with, I don't know what evidence there is. Either way, it's pretty bad to get called out.
On the other hand, there are plenty of people, which I'm sure you guys, Bill and Jason, I know plenty of girls. I know plenty of people that have gotten should have happened to them, and they went to the authorities, and they're like, sorry, nothing we can do, or we'll file this.
I can't tell you how many women, I know dozens of women that shit's happened to.
Or they
and like sometimes they dated the guy for a bit, and then the guy got mad and raped them. And then they go, well, you were dating him.
Right.
You dated him before. You were friends with him. Like, it's that whole he said, she said shit. I'll tell you something real quick. Funny. Did you see that movie about the stand-up comic who's getting stalked? It's called Baby Reindeer.
Yeah.
So that's a true story, right? He got a gay man roofied him and then raped him. And apparently everybody knows who this man is. He's a British director, but he won't say it. But so there's all these Reddit threads about it. And he says, I can't go to the authorities about it because ultimately I'll just say this happened. The guy will say it didn't happen and there's no proof.
Right. So
unless you get a rape kit right away. Yeah.
Look, somebody drove into my house, literally drove in my house, got out of the car, ran away. And because I couldn't pick the guy out at a lineup, which had a picture of 9 people, nothing they can do, right? But I'm like, I found the guy in 3 seconds. So I'm saying a lot of times going to the authorities when shit happens to you is pointless. It's a waste of time. They don't do anything. In those situations, it's great to have a guy like Sean Strickland do stuff.
Yeah.
However, there are other times where like that baseball player, the guy in the Dodgers.
Oh, yeah. Good guy.
Says he did this, he did that, he did this, he did that. And then it came out, he got cut from the Dodgers. His whole life got ruined. It turned out that she just fucked his whole life up. So, I mean, look, I guess there's no perfect solution to this. And it's not so black and white.
But for every one of those cases, there's 10 where the women are actually assaulted or raped. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but tell that to the one person it happened to.
What about Alex Pereira? Like, we saw this whole weird thing that got squished down where the crazy only fans bottle, whatever.
Yeah.
This lady seemed pretty wigged out, but she seemed pretty convinced that something bad happened to her. So it was like a whole campaign against her, but who knows what? It's a really blurry line. You know what I mean?
By the way, Nick Diaz now has an OnlyFans.
What the hell?
I almost want to join it to go, what the fuck is Nick Diaz going to do?
You want to see that Stockton slap that ass?
What is he? Like, if I could just picture him with nunchucks all day. And, like, that would be the greatest thing ever. Like
made out of dildos? Like, what's going on?
All right. So, by the way, did you guys see the Craig Jones thing?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That was staged. Him and...
Jones sexually assault Gabby Garcia.
That's staged.
But they said the fight's off. They're supposed to grapple, and now it's off. They're saying.
No, it's on.
on.
It's back on?
It's
Yeah,
back
they're
on.
manipulating us. I really like it. I really appreciate that they're trolling us as fans.
Now, would you have
Yeah.
sex, Bill, with Gabby Garcia?
I mean, she might break my dick off, so I don't know. It's kind of scary.
I'll
Imagine
put it.
what you can when you're that strong. Imagine how strong you can Kegel. So I kind of want to, but I'm also terrified.
Jason, I feel like you would.
You would suck your prostate out through your. You know what I'm saying? She got it. Yeah, that lady is. Oh my, she's an absolute unit. Oh my goodness.
She was on Tinder or something for a while. I think she has an OnlyFans too.
Oh God!
I feel like she would use you as a tampon. Like she would use one of us as like she could just douche with us afterwards. Like she would.
God! I mean,
she could like literally. I don't know. I think that there's a part of me that well, if I wasn't married, just the curiosity factor of like what goes in. At the same time, she might be very gentle and just lay there and be like, oh,
no like way. Oh, I think she'll choke you unconscious from the guillotine position, full guard. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll be like struggling for air as you're.
Oh God!
Pumps.
What if you did it, Adam, and it was the best sex you ever had? You're like, fuck, I gotta start dating Gabby Garcia now.
Fuck it, dude. I mean, if it was the best sex I've ever had, I would deal with it. It might be the best sex you ever had because she might have to earn it. You know, it's a lot of times like those girls that like are super hot just lay there and think they did you a favor.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely.
Yeah. But it's the ones that are like you know how like you ever
I got a lot to prove.
Or you bang a girl out of your league and you're like, man, I gotta get a call back for this. Like you're basically like you're fucking her for the next 3 times. You're not even fucking her for the time you're in there. You're like, I want to get invited back to this pussy. So you're giving her like the 3, the 4, the 5, you know, the 5 times sex in a night, you know, so that kind of thing.
Jesus, Adam, look at you, you young buck. I don't do that shit anymore.
No, neither. I'm married. Are you kidding? Like I'm like fucking halfway through. I'm done. I'm sleeping during the sex.
He's gotta make American Idol with his dick for his wife. Give a golden buzzer.
Oh, that's good.
That callback.
So did you guys see Kennedy Blades, the wrestler in the Olympics that threw that amazing launch?
No.
This girl, she's getting all kinds of WWE. She knocked the girl out. The girl had to go out a stretcher. It was such a good throw. Shit. They won't even show anymore. Like you can't even find the throw anymore. They actually take it down. Hold on, let me see if I can have it.
Really? Why, it was illegal?
No, it's perfectly legal. I'm pretty sure that like here, let me see if I can find it right here. Look at this launch right here.
Oh wow.
This is in the Olympics.
Jeez.
Oh my God.
Beautiful.
Why didn't they show it? Did the other girl die?
She's got married out in a stretcher right there. Bang.
Oh, yeah, that'll paralyze you.
Yeah,
that's a suplex, right?
Yeah. Is that nice? That's nicer than the Randleman one against Fedor.
Yeah. I know. Better than Fedor, yeah. That was better than versus Fedor, yeah.
I mean, granted, that girl's not Fedor, but still, the other girl, I mean,
that girl is a big wrestler, so to catch her like that is pretty wild, man. That's awesome.
I didn't realize you could do a suplex in like wrestling.
You can. Yeah. You can. I think, I mean, they're trying to make some of the rules a little bit different. Like if someone stands up on you and you're on top, you used to be able to, you know, have one arm locked, pick up, and then kick the leg out and drop them on a shoulder. But now you have to drop them on the arm that's free, which sucks, you know, to send the guy back down. And and I used to, one of my main moves was I would, you know, from top get an arm bar, step over, and figure 4 the head into a pin, almost like you're doing a jiu-jitsu choke, and you can't do that anymore in wrestling, which sucks. Like my go-to pin. So today, a good match, I can't wait, is going to be on YouTube. It's Pat Downey versus Luke Rockhold. Part of this Craig Jones.
Is that CGI? CJI?
No, it's part of the Craig Jones Invitational.
Yeah, CGI.
Yeah, CGI. Yeah. And it's for $1 million if they have to win and win and win. So
I love it. You know, they're doing it just to take down ADCC and to fuck with Gordon Ryan.
Oh, really? Why? Craig Jones doesn't like Gordon Ryan?
Well, they used to be really good friends. I mean, Craig Jones moved to New York to train with Gordon and John Danaher. And then the feeling, like, the whole thing with New Wave and B Team, like they had a schism because Gordon and his brother stopped getting along, and all the cool, funny guys went with B Team, and all the like super intense autistic guys went with John Danaher and New Wave. But now they hate each other, and all they do on the internet is just troll. Gordon Ryan is trolled by Craig Jones like probably every day. And so he did CJ because he was like, fuck, ADC doesn't pay their competitors very well. And I think Craig Jones is great for jiu-jitsu. I mean, what do you think, Mayhem?
Yeah, bud. The Gordon Ryan has disappeared from my feed. Last I know, like, his juice ran out and he got super sick. And then now Craig Jones just took over the game, and like he's constantly in my feed. Even before I started clicking or follow on him, he was already on there. So he did something right with the algorithm. He's doing something right. He got Hinato on there where he did like a funny bit. They're doing solid bits. I'm trying, I want to get involved, to be honest, because it's getting me jazzed up about jiu-jitsu again in a weird way. I think that's really good for the sport overall. The guy is smart. You can't take nothing away
does
from
Gabby
him.
Garcia she has no chance of beating Craig Jones, right?
None at all. Not even close.
Dude,
Gabby Garcia she's not even the top female anymore. She's also like almost 40 or something.
Yeah, but whatever. She's going to give us a good show. I hope the guy that she just I don't know, puts a stranglehold on him.
What if he comes?
I'm a Gabby.
I bet you he'll try to. Knowing Craig, he'll try to come.
He'll try to come. All right. So also they have the rest of the MMA, the UFC fights coming up tomorrow from Australia. Good fight. Really, really good fight, obviously. So the rest of the fights this Saturday in Australia.
Start at a normal time or what?
Yeah, starts at a normal time. It's DDP against Israel Adesanya for the championship. Israel hasn't fought in a long time. I think he beats DDP. I do. I think he took Strickland really, really lightly. It was a late replacement, and he just got caught at the end of the round, and he got hurt. He didn't even know it hit him. And I think that was just a bad matchup for him. I think if they fight again, Israel wins. And I know everyone's really sold on DDP because he knocked out Robert Whittaker, but he also almost lost to Derek Brunson. He was getting beat up by Darren Till for a while. I know he couldn't breathe. He had some nose problems, this and that, but I think Israel's on a different level. I think he's going to show that again tomorrow night. What do you think, Mayhem?
But I hate to agree with you because I think that we have the musclehead kind of guy that won the title barely, arguably not. I don't know. That Strickland fight was a weird one, but that's Strickland's fault for not really pushing the issue as he does. He kind of coasts a little bit. And I think that the striking will be a big problem. It'll be a big difference in the level of striking, because one guy has very simple striking that's used to set up takedowns and whatnot. And the other guy has a wide variety of strikes and different moves and, his footwork and head movement. And I don't know if DDP can pull this out, I'll be amazed. I'll be I'll have a brand new respect for him if he's developed more. But from what I've seen, stylistically, it's a bad matchup for him.
And Israel also.
What makes you think? Go ahead. Sorry.
Israel was coming off of those Alex Pereira fights where I think that was such an emotional roller coaster where he beat him twice and he lost to him and then he beat him. And I just think that sometimes when you get off those huge fights, your next fight is always a come down. And that was the Strickland fight. And I think that he was And then also Israel, wasn't his ex-girlfriend suing him for half his shit? But they were never together. He had some personal problems. All I know is that when I was sitting next to him at the award show, my daughter, first of all, I was like, hey, I'm Adam. He's like, I know, I met you last year, which was super nice. The fact that he did that, when someone remembers you, you assume they don't. But then my daughter, I was holding her to get up to leave. And and she kicked his drink all over him. Like he's wearing like a new tux, just alcohol all over him. And I'm like, and he just flew in like for the one event to pick up a bunch of awards. I go, man, I'm sorry. And he's like, kids, it's okay. And I go, you have any? He's like, not that I know of. Like, he was just a fucking cool guy. And I was like, you know what, man? Like this, I like this guy a lot. So I'm rooting for him. Bill?
But you know, I think it's like one of those things where you have these athletes when they get like they tear an ACL or something, and they come back like, but they're back, and you know they're never going to have the same confidence. They're never going to quite have the same ability. I feel like something broke in Israel because he was going to be out for a long time. So I don't know where his mental state is. Who knows what his training regimen has been? He might not have the fire in the belly anymore. You know what I mean?
Telling me he had a major injury or what?
No, he just had I think he had like a bit of a mental exhaustion breakdown.
Yeah,
but he like took time off.
That's different than a physical injury, you know? Like,
yeah, but don't you think the air of invincibility around him that kind of kept him going is gone now?
No, I don't know, because he lost before that too.
I don't think he ever had it. To me, I never saw an air of invincibility. I just saw a dude with technical ability, power, strength, and speed. Like a guy who like knew how to fight really well. To me, there was no air of invincibility. All that like kung fu and anime stuff, you know, that wasn't the nuts and bolts of what made him a great fighter and still makes him a great fighter. But this fight to me will answer the question, is he back in like a top form, or is he, you know, still out of it like you're saying? Like maybe the tiger, you know, maybe the fire in the belly ain't there. I like how you said that, because this will answer the question. It is a good challenge because on paper, I feel like, and Vegas agrees with me, that he should win this fight, but you know, that's why we have the fight.
Right. Also, this guy Steve Urseg, who his last fight was really good. He fought the champ, and it was like, this guy looks like the kid from Blue's Clues. It looks like the guy from The Office. And he's fighting Kai Kara France. That should be a good fight. Dan Hooker is fighting Rosenstruck, the big boy against Tai Tuivasa. It's a good card. The whole thing is it's a good card.
Wait, is it fight night or pay-per-view?
Pay-per-view.
Okay.
And then what's his name is Rosenstruck. He's the guy that looked like he almost knocked Overeem's head off. Remember, he like hit him with that uppercut. And then Herbert Burns, who's Gilbert Burns' brother, he's fighting Jack Jenkins. Casey O'Neill, who was undefeated, almost fought her mom one time. Her mom was a fighter, and her opponent bailed out, so they were going to have her versus her mom. They were talking about it, and so that's
real quick about Herbert Burns.
Yeah.
Like, dude, what's up with their mama? Gave them the most scrub-ass names, so they'll be the toughest. Gilbert and Herbert. Like, oh, my God. Nerdy-ass names. I'm glad that they're great fighters.
I agree. And then next week at the Apex, Jared Cannonier, who goes by the Killer Gorilla. Dude's a monster against Cal Barajo. Angela Hill, who will fight anywhere, anytime, any place. Yep. Beautiful. I think her grandparents were abducted by aliens. Remember that story?
Oh, yeah. So weird.
Yeah. Her grandparents, like, back in the day, got, like, taken in by aliens. So Neil Magny, who's got to be, like, 97 years old. He's taking Michael Morales. So that's... And then after that, it's Gilbert Burns versus Sean Brady. Sean Brady has a win, by the way, over Craig Jones in jiu-jitsu.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How long ago?
Like 2 years ago.
Oh, really? Wow.
It was one of those like point jiu-jitsu. Like it was one of those like at the, you know, so he's fighting Gilbert Burns. That should be a good one. OSP versus Ryan Spann. I don't know how old that is. OSP is Vanessa Demopoulos. That's the girl that used to be a stripper. She wrote a book called The Stripper Bible, and she jumps in everyone's arms after she wins. She's like jumps in Rogan's arms. And Rogan's just like, I think she tried to do it to Bisbing too. And he was like, what are you doing? Then in the Sphere, September 14th, I heard the cheapest tickets are $3,000.
Whoa.
That's what I heard. Sean O'Malley versus Marab. If I'm paying $3,000, I'm going to be depressed the entire time. Like, I'm going to be so mad.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
Oh my God. And then Shevchenko versus Grasso. Raul Rosas. That's the guy, Jason. They signed him when he was like 15 years old, the UFC. He was like young. From Mexico. He's fighting, I don't know who that is. Diego Lopez is fighting Ortega in this card.
God damn, crazy.
Yeah.
Lopez still on the scene.
Yeah, there's Kayla Harrison's fighting at 307 against Caitlin Vieira. That's a good fight. Aljamain's fighting. I think this is just got announced. The main event is going to be Pereira against Khalil Roundtree. So, and I think it's like for $50, you could win like 4,000 on Khalil Roundtree, which I'm definitely going to bet if I go to Vegas on that.
Yeah, for sure.
Fuck yeah. And then, see, I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves.
You're like getting into next year right now. All right. So wait, is he fighting again this weekend? Okay.
Yes. Did you see that Uriah Hall thing where he got mad? So I guess there's like a new Mumble interviewer. Do you guys see this?
No.
So Uriah Hall recently fought. First of all, this is what what's name is posting on this is what what's name is posting on Zoom. How do I share this? All right. He's crazy, by the way. Paul Costa, whoever is running his Twitter, I don't know if it's him, Paulo Costa, but this is what he posts. Let me see. Here we go. So he posts this, and you're like, oh, this is nice, right? Can you guys see? It's a bunch of girls. They look like they're topless. And he writes, did you see? And then you click on it, and it's a guy's penis. Like how is this allowed, Jason?
Bro, it's X, bro. You're allowed to do whatever you want on X. I'm thinking about starting an OnlyFans on X. Just you know what I mean? I'm just gonna hang dong on X all the time and see how.
Dude, Phil Baroni one night at 3 a.m. posts a picture of him holding his penis and writes OnlyFans. And I'm like, dude, Phil Baroni. And I'm like, people supposed to pay you first, and then you show them your penis. You don't just post it and write OnlyFans. Yeah. Okay. So this is pretty funny. This is the Gabby Garcia when he goes to kiss. Well, he goes to kiss her. All right. So, Uriah Hall, right? Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
So he's getting interviewed. I think this was the Jake Paul, Mike Perry thing, right? This is at that fight.
What's that? When you got out to fight, how would you say like I sent him over? One more time, bro. Oh, like when now like before, like when you had that sample, is there like especially like when you do like fight outcome fight? Bro, I can't hear what you're saying. I can't understand. Oh, like the outcome of the fight. Would you say like especially like the outcome of the fight? Yeah. Are you fight? Do you train? No, I don't. Okay, if you start training, you won't ask these questions. Okay. Start training, and you ask better questions. What's it like, especially if you ever like when you do like get sample? What? Do you ever like walk forward like you do when you like go to Tampa? I'm not gonna do this anymore. We're best with you. We're mumbling. I can't understand you, bro. Yeah, we're mumbling on purpose. Is that what's going on? Yeah. So you did all this to mumble? Yeah, just the best with you. You did all this in fight mode, knowing I could kill you right now. Are you out of your fucking mind? Might be. I know you Gen Zs don't really think. Yeah. But you need to stop, bro. Okay. Good luck out there.
He handled that pretty well. I see. I would have mumbled back at the guy. I would have mumbled back. I would have been like, like I would have. I don't know, but by props, he handled it pretty well.
I mean, come on. It wasn't that funny of a prank. Number one. Number two, the guy had a fight.
Trolling economy. Okay, everybody's after clout. That's just the way it is now. People are gonna do strange stuff. I kind of like it. It's like becoming like avant-garde. Everything's performance art. I was years ahead of this, bro. You remember Eric? I was already doing it.
I don't know if that was before his fight or after his fight. He's doing an interview with you. Uriah Hall has anxiety. He's got depression. He's overcome a lot of shit in his life. Leave the guy alone. Have some respect for the guy. Like, I understand, like, you want to, but why him? Why at a fight? Why Uriah Hall?
all the kids right now are trying to be YouTube stars with these different strategies. They have to make up new ones because, that's how it is. Like mumbling is the next thing, I'm surprised he didn't jump out of a trash can with a Halloween mask and get knocked the fuck out. It's just how it is, man. Look, you can act like an old man and be angry about it, but that's just the new way things are done, pal.
I get it. I just, at no point did I laugh. The only thing I thought was funny was when he goes, "You Gen Z fucking guys need to think about it." That was a funny part because that was the actual, because that was the only thing that was real about it. That was the truthful part. The comedy's in truth. And that was funny. But
I'm with you.
Leading up to it was like, to me, the girl that has her like tits out and goes up to Don Fry and goes, "Let's see if you can make eye contact." That's a funnier bit to me than what that was, because at least her tits are out and I haven't seen it before. But just mumbling, I mean, even there's other ways you could have done it. Like if he went up there and started talking about Uriah Hall's fight and then started crying because he had a fight in the 3rd grade. He lost something where it's just like the way that Ali G would do it was fucking hilarious. Sacha Baron Cohen, I still fucking cry when he asks what was it like to walk on the sun, with like the moon landing. And that was hilarious. That was genius. Fucking genius. Man. Or when he asked he asked the military guy.
The podcast where you're the terrible ways that comedy is going now. And it's not. You're like, you pick out one cherry-picked example of the jankiest non-comedy, and then you get so angry about it. I love it, bro. I love it. That's why I love doing this show, is to see you just like, ah!
Well, because it's like, this is my business, man. I'm in the making people laugh business, and that shit was fucking.
Guy get? Did this guy get 1 million views off that or something? No.
I'm sure he did. He did. And just like the guy that asked fucking Nate Diaz, "What you gonna do when Masvidal beats the fuck out of you?" I don't know, man. Like there's a certain non-creativity behind it where I'm just like, it's lazy and it's pointless and it's disrespectful. And none of it, look, if you're gonna disrespect a fighter, it's gotta be so fucking good. Yeah. Where it's like, that was funny. Or like even the kid that interviewed you is hilarious. That kid that pretended he doesn't know anything, the kid with the accent, like he's doing something way different. Yeah.
His is I get it. Yeah. The mumble thing, pretty lame. I don't know why you're even giving airplay to that, but shout out to Uriah. That's like he did good. He did fine. You have to, he dealt with it the way he would deal with it, It's different. It's a whole different world out there. But
Bill, where are you going with that hat?
What? I can't even see him. I didn't even put that on there.
He's wearing a American flag hat, cowboy hat.
Oh, now he's muted, and he's
I think he has an audition.
What, as a stripper in American Pie?
We can't hear you anymore. Thanks, Bill.
I can't hear you. Yeah, you're muted.
Ask to unmute.
Why are you in the back seat of your car?
I'm in Ohio. I'm at the Cincinnati Open tournament, and this is how I get on TV.
Did you just do a tournament?
No, it's a tennis tournament.
And you're competing?
No, I'm there. It sounds really stupid. My friend's dad is like a co-owner in it.
Oh, cool.
So I'm just here watching the game.
You're so fucking weird, dude. I don't even know if you like tennis. I don't know why you're in Ohio. You're wearing an American flag hat. Everything is weird about you. Like everything.
I love America. This is the home of JD Vance. What's wrong with that?
Wow. God bless.
Yeah, look out for the couches.
Yeah.
But the worst part is he fucked a lazy boy. Anyway, so
yeah. And you know what? It was made in Mexico. Taking the job.
Oh, God.
Too.
Hilarious. All right. Well, listen, what do you got coming up, Jason?
Fuck, I don't know. Nothing. I work at this warehouse job. I work at the gyms. Like, you know what I mean? I'm holding pads for people. I'm coaching fighters. Like, that's what I got going on. I'm gonna get back into stand-up. That's what's happening right now. So you guys
By the way, there's a thread about you on the underground says Mayhem 6.0.
6.0.
I
Yeah,
think
the
this is
sixth iteration of you.
This is like 6.0.
Oh, yeah.
2.0.
I know. Huh? Oh, what? And the underground is still a thing? I heard that they got bought and then doxed everybody.
I don't know. I know the comments. We have a couple fans on the a couple people that support the podcast in the comment section. So it's Mayhem 6.0, which I think is hilarious. That's pretty funny. Bill, what do you got?
I'm going to be watching the Cincinnati Open. There we go. And so check me out on ESPN in the crowd. No, I don't know. I just have my Wednesday show at the Laugh Factory. And yeah, that's pretty much it, man.
I'll be at the Hollywood Laugh Factory Monday, Yamashiro Tuesday, and on the Greg Gutfeld Friday.
Bro,
nice.
So
I'm coming out.
You guys are the best. Take care.
Bye-bye.